Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Photoshop does artboards now, so you should be okay.
So like Styles has its own artboard, right?
Yes. No, sorry. Oh, for the requirement up there. No, let me let's just work through it really quick, and then I can show you. Where did I put that? That's not good. Designs, assignments, XD. Okay, where'd it go? I'm really brain no work. There we go. Where do you live? Oh, classroom last fall. Okay. So in Sketch, I went over this Friday. I went over the interface Friday, but I'll do it again for the video. Sketch is really it's similar in some ways to a lot of the Adobe programs, but the big difference is all your tools are going to be up here at the top. If your toolbar looks different, that's okay, because it's very customizable. You can right-click on it and go to Customize and drag down any tool you want into it, within reason, because it'll run out of space eventually. It'll give you, if it does run out of space, it'll give you a little arrow over here to click on it. The tools that I use the most are like the shape tool, text and image. I don't do a lot of vector or pencil drawing, so I don't do a lot of that kind of manual drawing in Sketch because I use Illustrator for stuff like that.
Toolbar is different.
I just said that it would be. Literally just said that.
Out of it.
It's okay.
I was just randomly things.
So that's where all that's going to be. On the left-hand side is where your layers and your element hierarchy is going to be. It's organized in two different ways: pages and elements. Okay, so you can have multiple pages, and you have multiple artboards on those pages, and then your hierarchy for that page will show up underneath that, and you can drag that and make it bigger or smaller. Take up more room, less room, whatever. You can also, there's a search bar down at the bottom left-hand corner for it. You can see I got a bunch of different groups here. These are all different artboards. These are all the artboards you should have. I do have a symbols page, but there's not a ton of stuff on here. This one's made automatically when you start making symbols. It'll just dump them over here. Where's my plugin? There you go. We're going to talk about this craft plugin here. Oh, what's going on? Yeah.
So, like, is our wireframe kit supposed to be like a row of stuff, or is it all going to be in different?
It's all going to be in different artboards. Yeah.
So how do you know we did it all?
Because it'll be in your document.
Oh,
When you turn in this document, I'll see all this stuff.
okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're not making like a picture of it. We're making like things.
Yeah. But you are also making a picture of it.
Well, I think it now.
Okay. All right. Okay. So you can see this is just how I organize mine. You don't necessarily need to organize it this way, but you do need to have different artboards for each of these things, and they're outlined again on the assignment description. Let's see. Let's take a look at. Is that shapes? Okay. Let's take a look at shapes. I use the zoom and view shortcuts a lot. So actual size, centered canvas, zoom selection. So Command 2 is actually really useful. You can click on something and just hit Command 2 and it will zoom right into it, which is really nice, especially when you're working with like really complicated info. It will highlight stuff too as you mouse over it. You'll notice when you mouse over it, that little eyeball pops up. That's the toggle visibility button. So you can click on it to hide it or show it. If you hold Option, you'll get the lock option. Option also, actually, is it Option? Oops. All right, did I lock that and not know it? So if you have an element selected and you hold Option, you'll also get these smart guides. These smart guides show the relative position of that object to whatever you're hovering your mouse over. If I hovered over the background, it's the artboard, so it's showing me the relative position of that object to the artboard. Okay. If I hover over a different object, it shows me the position to that other object. This is good and amazing and totally useful for figuring out spacing when we start building actual designs. Okay. Right now, it's not going to matter too much. Well, later on it will when you start making more complicated elements, because your spacing needs to be consistent. All right. I don't want to see things not aligned. There's no excuse for not aligning elements. All right. There are quick and easy ways to align elements. So let's another kind of useful shortcut is to hold Command and click on something. That lets you click inside groups without having to like double click into the group. So if I just hold Command, I can click on something. It's like a direct selection. Okay. Otherwise, you'll see that that box empty is a group over here. Go inside it. It's got 2 elements. If I just hold Command, it's just letting me go right into that group and click. That makes sense? Skips the group level of the organization. All right. These are all really simple shapes to draw. You've got a rectangle button that you can use to draw the boxes. You've got a triangle button that you can use for the triangles. You've got a polygon button that you can use for the polygons. So if I have the polygon and I hit my up arrow, oh, where'd it go? All right, what happened with that? If I hold Shift, it's going to constrain its proportions. There we go, points. So up here, points is how you make it different sizes or different kinds of polygons. 6 points, hexagon, so on and so forth. Okay, really easy to do. With that object selected over here, I've got a fill and I've got a border. Border is just the stroke. So you're going to need to do a fill. It doesn't have to have a border if you have a full one, but you need to have a filled box and an empty box. All right, so if I have that one and that's done, I can hold Option, click on it and hold Option. That makes a copy, just like in Photoshop and Illustrator. Okay, and then boom, now I've got my 2. All right, but if I need to label it, let me zoom back out here. Command and mouse wheel will zoom you in and out. But if I need to label it, hit T to bring up my text box. Hexagon full. T. Text is blurry because it starts off as a vector object, but then becomes rasterized. And I have a Retina screen, so it doesn't quite do it. Play right. I'm going to copy that guy. And I'm just holding Shift to constrain it to that horizontal axis. You can see I'm moving my mouse up and down.
Is that text attached to the shape?
Not yet. You can see them all right here in my hierarchy. They're just individual objects, not grouped or anything yet. Double click on it to kind of come into it to edit. Empty. So now I'm hitting escape to get out of edit mode. So now I have a label for this box and a label for this shape. But maybe I want to align them because that looks gross. Okay, and they should be aligned in some way to make them neat. So you select both of them, and then you have these nice handy align tools over here on the right.
So how do you attach them?
I haven't attached them yet.
How do you select them both?
You just drag a box over them and select them, like this. Drag a box and select them.
Gotcha.
Don't work with me, just watch for now, okay? Otherwise, the demo is going to take all of the class.
Sorry.
So you can use these nice handy align tools. So you can align to the left, to the right, to the center. You can just to the top, the middle, and the bottom. So I'm going to align to the left. Moves that over to the left of the box for the shape. Now it doesn't look aligned because it's doing the box of the shape. I feel like we need to rasterize it or something. How did I do that? So you can either do it perceptually, which you could pull it, drop an anchor, or a guide, I mean, or you can just use your align tools. I'm fine with your align tools. If you do that and it looks off, that's okay. Where's it go? There we go. You just grab them there, align them to the left, and that's fine. They are aligned. All right, what else? So that would be those guys. Buttons. Let's do the buttons. If you want to do artboard, you just hit A, that's your artboard key, draw it out. Ooh, another artboard. Yeah.
How do you make it so that you can see your whole artboard instead of just like the white rectangle?
Oh, so view and then just go to, where is it? Hold on. Command 1. We'll zoom you all the way out. Did it work? Otherwise, just command minus. Or 2 finger, I think 2 fingers. Does 2 fingers work? No, pinch zoom works on the trackpad.
Oh, yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah.
All right. Oh, I didn't group these guys. So to group these now, because I have that text in this object and I want them to be together, you just select them, hit Command G. It makes it into a group. But don't forget to label your group. Hexagon full or filled. I should change that. Filled and hexagon empty. Hexagon empty. All right. Where are we at? All right. So this artboard. If I'm going to make some buttons, do you see these buttons have text in a box? Yeah.
Wait, how do you make another artboard?
A.
What?
Hit the A key and then drag a box. You can alternatively use one of the templates that pops up too.
Wait, you hit A and what?
Drag a box.
What box?
Okay.
Never mind.
So you see how your cursor changes? When I hit A, I get that little crosshair. Drag a box.
Oh! Hello.
All right. So back to the buttons. So I'm gonna make a shape, a rectangle. If I want them to look like that rectangle, I don't care what size you make these, but these are making them into a certain pixel size. Okay. I think my buttons are 200 by 60. Try to keep them even. All right. It's just cleaner. I don't want to see a ton of like 137 by 83. You know, that's a mess. All right.
Can you change the size of your artboard?
Is that relevant to the button that I'm talking about right now? Okay. Can we wait until when I'm done? Awesome. So you can always come over here to the info at the top and fill in actual sizes that you want for that element. 200 by 60. You can lock that ratio too if you want, just by clicking that lock, so that if you change one, it will automatically change the other to keep the proportion the same. That's useful. By default, it's going to give you a fill and a stroke. You decide which ones you want. If you want them both, I don't care. You can also pick your colors. I usually will make like document colors. Like this one already has document colors. I'll make a folder, like it'll automatically have document colors, but your document colors will be empty. So you just hit that plus and it takes whatever your active color is. So whatever color is showing up right here in this box, it makes it part of your document colors. All right. And if you click on one, you'll see the sort of slight blue highlight on it. That means it's your active one. You can also just hit delete, or not. You can drag it off and let go of it. There we go. All right. Okay, so let's fill. I need text inside of it. So button, right? But that's not necessarily the size. This is where you would set up a text style. So maybe you pick your font. You know, Source Sans Pro. I want something bold. And I want maybe like a 20 size. That's probably gigantic. Oh, that's not that bad. That's kind of good. So maybe that's what I want for my button text style. Okay. So right now I have no text style selected. You just click on that and come down, click on that drop down and click down to, you see I already have some made. Create new text style and then give it a name. Alt button defaults. And you'll see that it actually changes to look like the style that you've given it. All right, that's what I'm talking about when I say I want text styles. Okay, if I open up your sketch file, I should be able to come through here and see all your headers, your links, your body text, your buttons, your block quotes, etc. All the different styles that you've set up for that stuff. Does that make sense? Okay. Quick aligning. Just select both of them, center it vertically, center it horizontally. Now they're aligned. Magic. There is no excuse not to align your stuff. Zero excuse not to align your stuff. Your stuff's not lined up, I take points off. Just take points off. There's no excuse whatsoever. Don't do more work than you have to. So set up kind of the default. So this is a default button. Obviously that's my button style. I don't want that. I want my body text style. See, it's kind of figuring it out there. Oh, so that's something else. You see, as I was moving it around, right? It's kind of showing me how far away it is from the object underneath it. 5 pixels. Hey, that's a good number, 5. Right? We have 5 fingers. We think in terms of 5, so we'll do 5 pixels in between them. It's going to look like more because it's actually, the box is a little bit below it, but whatever, that works. You'll see it kind of snaps right there. That's that nice alignment. I'm going to group these because I know this is a unit that I want to keep. All right, this is a component made out of separate elements. But now I need to show like a hover state and a press state. So after this is grouped, I'm just going to hold Option, drag it over. I'm holding Shift again to keep it constrained to that horizontal axis of movement so it doesn't just move all over the place. Otherwise, if I'm moving it, it's just going to go wherever. Okay, if I hold Shift, well, if I hold Shift, it kind of sits there and pops right to that space. And you'll see that it said it was 46 away from this. Let's go 20 away. Then maybe I'll make one more. 20 away. This is going to be my, I'm just double clicking into it. This is my hover state. Yep.
But you're saying 20 is less than 20 pixels?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's all pixels. Yeah. If you want to, you can do increments of 16 maybe, since that's like a default rem, default 1 rem. That's up to you. As long as it's consistent throughout your document, I'm fine. Pressed. All right, so I changed the labels, but now I need to change how what they actually look like. Double click too far in. All right, so I'm going to make this look pressed. I'm just going to make it dark, or like it's a hover state, sorry. Then I'm going to change my font color there. And this one is going to be pressed, so we'll make it yeah, I want to make it like not noticeable. So maybe what we'll do is we'll keep it the same background and we'll just change the text color. There's an eyedropper. That's too much. It's too much the same. There, that looks like it doesn't work anymore. Right? Like it shouldn't work. It's grayed out. So default, hover, and done. Used. Pressed. So that are 2 buttons. And all I had to do is make one of them and just copy it and then change little bits, the parts that are different. Okay? All right. So let's look at the more complicated ones. Weird. Size is easy. These are easy. This is just a box with different color and different text inside of it. Let's see. This is maybe a little more difficult. These are, you can see these 2 boxes are, these are just separate boxes and they're aligned in such a way that they look, that the lines in between them overlap. Right, so you get that one line of thickness in there instead of a doubling. Like if they have their actual borders touching, then that's what they would look like, and this would look thicker than it should. But it's a 2 pixel border, so, or a 1 pixel border, so I move it down. That makes sense? I'm sorry, 2 pixel border, so I move it down 2 pixels. It's over there. Yeah? Sorta? Okay. All right, let's see. The forms, these are just groups of boxes and text. Make sure everything is just, come here. Are you locked? Oh, you're a style. I see. So yeah, I have to go to the styles. Oh, so yeah. Let's talk about styles then. So they've changed how styles work a little bit. Let's make an artboard over here, and then we'll set up something. Set up a style of something. I don't know why it keeps making that noise whenever I do that. Let's do one field form horizontal. All right, so a rectangle. I don't know what the size is. .250 by 60. So 250 by 60. Just the border, or sorry, no fill. Light gray, too light. Probably what? All right, and then we'll give it, just make another one of these. I'm gonna go 16 pixels, oops. If you hold shift and hit left or right, it goes in increments of 10 pixels, 10 pixel jumps. Make this just a little bit smaller. Yeah, let's go quite a bit smaller. Let's go like 180. Fill. Then we'll do some text in there. Send a message. Since it is a button. Moved it over a pixel. All right. Oops. That to line up there. Check my depth, or my, I'm sorry. So if we do 16, that looks a little too far away. It's the same as that. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 8 looks, 8 would be like half a rem. That looks better. Then I'll just make it a little lighter. All right, so this would be, and I'm gonna group it. This would be like a one field horizontal form. One field being it has one place to put in input and a button, and it's laid out horizontally. Okay, one field horizontal button. So I want to set this up as a symbol. All right, a symbol being like a chunk of Legos that you're going to reuse all the time, right? Like a bunch of components put together that you reuse a lot. Will you turn the air back on? It's getting toasty in here. People are laying heads down. Ariel, are you awake? All right. I know it's exciting stuff. I know it's really exciting stuff. You'll get to work on your own here in a second. So to set it up as a symbol, there is a create symbol button up here at the top. If you don't see it, where is it? Oh, under layer, it's the very first item, create symbol. So you just select the thing that you want to make into a symbol. It's going to ask you if you want to give it a name. So if you've grouped it without labeling it first, it'll just say group. All right, you want to give it a name, and then it will make a symbol page. If it hasn't yet, it'll make a symbol page, and it will add it to that symbol page. And I definitely recommend that, because then you can kind of come over here and take a look at it. If you change stuff in here, it will change it in your document. All right. So if I come over here to this on my symbol page, if I come in here and change, that to be that, and I come back to my elements, it changed it. Does that make sense? And if I have multiple instances of this, so that's what happens. So see, I have all these different symbols I can use now. Look, here's a symbol. Where do you want to put it? I want to put it right here. All right. This is the real power of the wireframe kit. All right. Being able to just quickly go, oh, well, I need a menu drop down right here. Okay, let's put it right there. Right? It's done. If you've got it, it's done. If you've made it as symbols, it's done. And you can use it in other sketch documents if you have them open. All right? All right. But then, so then maybe, we don't like that red, or our client doesn't like that red, so we want to come in here and they want a green. Then you make the green, come back to your elements, it's all green. So if you have lots of them, it's very fast, very quick, and very efficient. Yeah?
If
you were to change it right there, would it change it in your symbols?
No, because what's going to happen is if you go to click on it to change, it's going to take you to the symbols page to change it.
Oh.
Yeah, it used to be that it would let you do it, and then that would mess up your symbol. It would like propagate throughout everything, and like it just screwed people up. But this is a better way of organizing it now. If you want to break the link, where is it? Detach from symbol. If you want it to be its own special instance, and then it just becomes a thing that you can click on and change.
So then you can make that one separate from the one above it.
Yeah, I just did. It is separate now.
Okay.
Yep. It won't change. So, okay. Let me delete that. Oops. All right. There's a list of things that I want to be symbols. Let's take a look. These things are all from Font Awesome. Okay. So you can either try to make these by hand, or you can just grab the vector of them. It's a little easier to just grab the vector. If you're going to grab the vector, let's see if I can remember how to do it. I want to say you need to have the page open and it installed. I don't know if this is going to work actually. It used to be you could copy it, come over here, and just paste it. But it could, no, it didn't work. Yeah, it didn't work. I don't have the, I thought I had Font Awesome installed though. I do have Font Awesome installed. Oh, it's broken. Super duper broken. Remove it. Alright. Let's get... Oh, they're not going to let me... There we go. Download and customize. Download. No thanks. Should be pretty fast. Oh, there was an update, that's why. So here's the fonts. Cool. So there's an OTF there, which... Oh, that's kind of broken, isn't it? Wow, they're all super broken. I don't know why. Alright, well, they used to work. They are not going to work for you much then. You might have to have a license now. Let's ask Google. Sketch. Oh, nice. I have not been redirected. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's unfortunate. Ah, that's really unfortunate. So there's lots of resources. I didn't want to show you guys this stuff. Icons. Oops, icons. Icons. If you want to, if you can use some free icons from here. Damn it. Dang, that was a big part of my... We could use Google icons. Are those just CSS though? The Google icons? Are they just CSS?
There's a lot of different things. Yeah. You can see them as SVG or anything.
Oh yeah. Okay, click on it, SVG. So if you do save them as an SVG, so here we'll do this. You can download it like that, go to Sketch, and then just drag it in here, and it will show up. You see, and get the SVG because that is your vector file. Okay.
Will it work the same way for Photoshop?
Should. Yeah. Should. You can test it. But that's a good way to make. I mean, don't make your triangles that way because that's just silly. You can affect the roundness of your triangles just by having affecting the well, that's I must have actually made that in. I must have downloaded an icon for that. Don't do what I did. All right, so grab a triangle, rotate your triangle, square up your triangle a little bit. And then, oh, no border radius for this? I'm not seeing it. Do you guys see it anywhere?
What?
Border radius for my triangle. Oh, that's not fun. There's the radius. So I wonder if we can delete that guy. There we go. So you can do it by making a rectangle. So if you make a rectangle and well, if you make any shape, you can double click on it, and when the corners turn into circles, that means they're editable. So you can drag them out and make them different sizes. You can also delete them.
Oh, okay.
Right? But the triangle, I guess, for some reason, and just double click outside of it, when you get that transform box around it, that means it's back to its normal mode. For some reason, the triangle won't let you affect the... How can I rotate you? There we go. Triangle won't let you affect the curve for some reason. But this will.
Just cheat the system.
Yeah, find workarounds. I mean, if you do find an icon, go ahead and use the icon. Or you can just easily make your own. Oh, I guess it doesn't quite look like that, does it? Just gonna copy it. I'm curious. Right.
Oh, I still see.
Radius. Curve. More curvy.
Why did you want it gray?
I don't want it gray. I'm playing around. I'm just drawing. There we go. So now it's the same size and border. Anyway, so that's how you can make your own little icons. That's that play icon. These are the exact same two icons. One's just scaled up and one's scaled down. Although if you do scale, you'll have to adjust your radius because the radius will stay the same. See,
Oh god.
that's
We're gonna
dumb.
turn into a circle.
You can do it with the triangle if you just make a triangle and then hit edit.
Really?
That should. And then hit edit on the top. Toolbar.
Where you oh yeah,
And then if you select all the
corners. Yeah, see that.
you just-
Okay, so it's right there. That's nice. It'll still
Yeah, maybe
will it still scale it? Did you try the scaling?
triangle. So just did that.
No, see, it still wants to scale those down. There's probably you should be. There's probably a toggle for that. I just gotta dig through the preferences and find it. Okay, anyway, back to what we were doing. So yeah, you can use some of those if you want. You don't have to. This progress circle, you can come up with your own different way of making the progress circle if you want to, but it does need to be a solid shape. So this, if I remember correctly, I did not make mine a solid shape. Don't do what I did. So these two I need to do the difference, and what that does is it cuts out the middle, so you can see that is now an oval. Has a bigger circle and a little circle, littler circle, and then I have an arc, which is part of your. With the arc tool, you can just take like an oval. You can take a circle, draw that circle out, double click into it. So you've got all these different paths you can edit. You just you can either add a path on here, so maybe I want part of this, or maybe I don't want part of that. Come here and click that one. Oh, that's weird. Huh. Okay, I don't remember how to do it now. How did I make that? It's not slicing. How did I do that? Scissors, maybe? Oh yeah, it's scissors. That's kind of weird. Okay, well, you use your scissors, and that will break it. And then you can just make the stroke whatever thickness you want, whatever color you want. And that gives you your sense of progress. Okay, does that make sense? Everybody good on that? Okay. I mean, you know, you're design students, you should be able to figure this out. It's kind of, some of it's playing around with the tool. It's really similar to Illustrator. This is maybe the more confusing one. You know, you can take a screenshot of an actual map if you want to, but if you see this, these are all actual shapes.
Wow.
Like that. They're not just overlapped. All I did was I used these cutout tools up here for these shapes. So I drew one big rectangle,
And then you cut into it.
and I drew a bunch of little rectangles that kind of overlapped it in certain ways. That, you know, select one and this one, then do the difference. Like this one and this one, do the difference, and then you can come into that. Oh, sorry, subtract, not difference. Subtract? Yeah, subtract. There we go. Subtract, and that gives you the shape that you're looking for. Okay? All right. And that's what I want out of that one. Profile, image placeholder, regular image placeholder, I don't care what those look like. I mean, you should be able to look at them and know what they are. Logo can be whatever, it doesn't need to be a square. Okay, it can be a circle, it can be, should be a basic shape. All right. Really, it's up to you. All right, you need to have these elements. All right, how they look, totally up to you. Okay, but keep them monochromatic. So there's some constraints. All right, any questions before we get started? No? Johnny, did you have a question, or were you just saying Okay. All right. All right, go ahead and get started. If you are using Photoshop, maybe just pay attention up here just for a sec. And I'll kind of show you what I want you to do with Photoshop.
Could you also use Illustrator instead of Photoshop?
Yeah. The only problem with Illustrator is that well, there's really no problem. That would be fine. I could use either.
Because my version of Photoshop doesn't have artboards. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Illustrator's fine then.
I don't. Are you using Photoshop 6 or 6?
Probably 6.
I guess Photoshop's gonna start. There we go. All right, so if you're using the latest version of Photoshop, you're gonna create a new document. Just go with web, or if you want, you can just pick artboard. Pick an artboard. Web most common, a good place to start. For the wireframes, it doesn't matter too much. All right, you're gonna have different sizes, but that's a good place to start, just to be thinking in those dimensions. Hit OK. You can build this in Photoshop's normal mode. All right, this is totally fine. You can draw your stuff out in this normal way. You can add artboards. Oops, did the layers. I want a new artboard. I never use artboards. Hold on. Artboards. New artboard. Oh, right. Okay, so if you have an artboard, that's right. I forgot about that. If you have an artboard, this is actually kind of interesting for Photoshop, and I kind of like this. You can automatically like put one above it or below it or whatever. And so what ends up happening is, you know, creating sort of this page way to sort of move through or lay out already a website, which is really helpful for information architecture. For the wireframe kits, it doesn't matter too much where it goes. You can also then, of course, you know, adjust those dimensions. Whoa, there we go. So you can just select that artboard, select the name, and then hit one of the pluses, and it will copy that artboard and make a new one for you. You just draw your stuff out the same way in here. Okay, organize it the same way in your layers. Rename your artboards, like this would be, you know, shapes. This one might be like forms, etc. It's going through all the same, all of the same requirements. Okay. Instead of symbols, you're gonna have style types, I think. It's type styles. So you can do different type styles. There was in Illustrator, it's patterns. I think Photoshop has patterns. Yeah. So define a pattern. So let me draw some stuff real quick. You have a shape tool. Your shape tool is actually down here. So let's do shape. Let's grab gray, stroke. All right. View in, fit on screen, print size. I wish it would zoom to selection, but oh well. All right. We'll do some text. It's kind of slow now. This is a thing. Oof. Not like doing text in Photoshop. There we go. So you can grab these two things. We can then align them to each other. There we go. And then, let's see, is there Command T, nope, character, to play around with this. Open. This is running really slow. It doesn't like to have Sketch open, Photoshop open, and recording the screen at the same time on dual monitors. Let's go 18. Okay. So stuff like that, and then select these two things, and then you should be able to define that pattern. What was it again? There we go. Define pattern. So that's a pattern. Okay. The only problem with that is that instead of it making an individual object, it's actually thinking about it in terms of where it is also on the layer. So if we use the pattern, layer style, yeah, so layer style, pattern overlay, new fill, layer pattern, make a new one. I don't think that's gonna work. Yeah, so it makes another one. All right, ignore your symbols and stuff for, ignore the symbol requirement for Photoshop because it's not gonna be the same and it's not gonna be as useful if you're using Photoshop, okay? It just means more work for you if you're using Photoshop because you'll have to like select stuff and copy paste it and move it around and things. But it won't be as confusing, okay? But organization still counts. So, you know, I would group those things together and then label them what they need to be called if you're using Photoshop, okay? All right? All right. Any other questions? All right, so what you should be working on right now,